Right then, so in this one we're going to be taking a look at British Transport Police. Yeah, this video, I am going to bash on them at the end, but I'm going to let this video play out. Somebody has reported a monkey, so the British Transport Police are going to request a license to see if the guy's got a license to own the monkey, knowing nothing about the licensing or anything like that. So it's a bit of a weird one, really. But it's a pretty decent interaction. But like I said, at the end, I'm going to bash on all British Transport Police, not just these ones in the video. Well, not even these ones in the video. All British Transport Police. These ones in the video do pretty decent. They don't bully or demand any information, which they're not entitled to. So I can't really fault them for that, but let's get straight into this video.
My little video. Yeah.
If you're not in any kind of trouble,
Yeah.
obviously you've had a report from members of the public, you obviously got a monkey in your possession, okay? Now obviously that's not a criminal offence,
Yes.
you have the appropriate licensing. Do you have the appropriate...
He's not licensed yet. Ninth license till next year.
So
Yeah.
April 2026
Yes.
is obviously when the legislation comes into effect with
Yes.
regards to the ban.
But at the moment, they're not.
So you're saying at the moment they don't require an exotic
No.
animals licence?
No. Yeah, and I've had him since I was 17-year-old.
Okay.
I'm 41-year-old now.
Okay.
So all I can say, if I was breaking the law or any offence,
Yeah.
do you think I would be coming through the train station or anything like that, doing something illegally? No.
I'd say that, because I've seen you in the train station before,
Yeah,
obviously with no issues.
and that's what I'm saying to you, yeah? So at the end of the day, I know my laws, I know my rights and everything, yeah?
Yeah.
So when next year comes in,
Yeah.
that's when I have to have my licence.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So we're going around having a chat to you, obviously, with transport police officers.
Yeah, yeah.
exotic
No, I
animal
understand.
registration is not a huge thing
Yeah,
to deal with.
and the only thing is, if you were selling exotic animals,
Yeah.
that's where it comes into transporting a licence for
Yeah.
transporting, yeah? He is my own personal animal, yeah?
What's his name?
Banu,
What's
yeah?
that monkey, sir?
He's a marmoset monkey, he is. Common marmoset.
Outside to come down.
Yeah.
How long have you had him for?
I've had him since he was 3.5 weeks old, yeah, and he is 2-year-old now. Yeah.
What do they eat?
Eat. They've approached me. They've approached me, mate. Yeah? Mind your own business and go away. Yeah?
Okay then, so like I said, I'm not here to bash on the police. The police in this instance are understanding this guy and what he's saying, because they don't understand the legislation they are trying to enforce, or think they are trying to enforce, so they're coming off pretty decent. What I do want to say is the guy what come up giving him abuse for filming the interaction he's having with the British Transport Police, because the British Transport Police come over to speak to him, saying they've got other stuff to do. Well, they have been called to this job. Would I say it's worth calling, having the police interaction here? Probably not. They could probably come, see that I ain't got a license, and then leave. Luckily, this is not a very long interaction, and it does end pretty soon. But the guy will come up, maybe you should just keep your nose out of it and continue with your own stuff, or stop watching too many YouTube videos, thinking that everybody's out there just to film the police, when, like this guy's case, is not out to film the police. He had somebody reported him to the police have come over to speak to him, and he just happened to film it, and he just happens to have a YouTube channel, not even about police, about his adventures with his monkey. But yeah, let's continue.
I know. You always get one, mate.
Always get one.
You always get one.
You're not saying you've done anything wrong.
Yeah.
You're just concerned for a member of the public. We've just come to have a chat with him.
Yeah,
Obviously, I'm happy with your story. Obviously, he looks well looked after.
He
doesn't
is.
look any kind
And do you know what, mate? I was at fishing one day. I went fishing for 4 days and 3 nights I went, and somebody reported me to the RSPCA, yeah? They come out on the fishing lake, they checked him out, everything, yeah? And do you know what? He was completely fine, yeah? They checked him out, and do you know what he said? We are completely happy with him. We don't even know why we've come out. You know what I mean? And things like that.
Just grab your neck. So therefore, if we get another report, we can confirm.
Do you know what? Honest to God, right? Yeah, this is what the same police officer said to me in Stoke-on-Trent, right? Yeah, he said, "Can we just take your name and take your number? Yeah, so if we have a report, we can just ring you and say, look." You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I don't want to give my name or to my number.
Why is the officer I got spoken to at Stoke?
Oh, he was a PCSO. Yeah, he was.
I've spoken to officers at Stoke, crisis coming in,
Yeah.
and they've said they've had these reports before, but obviously because they don't have your name,
Yeah.
you still have to attend because it might be someone new, it might be someone
Yeah, I understand, but at the end of the day, yeah, but it's like I say, I know I'm not breaking the law. You understand? If I knew I was breaking the law, I wouldn't be out in a public place. It's common sense. It's completely common sense, you understand? And this is what it is. And it's like I say, I walk through, he comes with me, I don't let him at home, he's always with me at all times. I've got all his food in my bag, I've got his apples, grapes, bananas, his multivitamin drops, I've got everything, you know what I mean? And it's, at the end of the day...
I've seen you at the station before, so before you got the first call, it's sounding quite similar because I've seen you around on the concourse before.
Yeah.
Obviously he's quite popular.
Yeah, he is, he is.
So this is the first time I, as an officer, I've seen the call, so
Yeah.
I didn't know it was you at the time, so obviously we've got a chat just to make sure everything's on board.
I just had a funny feeling. I was getting off the train today, yeah, and my tablet, yeah, it's not fully charged because everywhere I go, I'll always have me phone with me or a site because I know at the end of the day, I'm not breaking the law, I'm not doing anything wrong, yeah, but it's like you always say, yeah, you always get the one. That's it.
How did you go out purchasing a monkey?
I won't know a breeder, but if you go to exotic animals, yeah, in Manchester, they've got them in there. They sell them in there.
Is that the one on whereabouts?
On the
Stockport Road?
yeah, on Stockport Road, it is.
Near the pub?
Yeah. On the actual, they've got everything in there. They have.
Oh
Yeah. But it's like you say, yeah. At the end of the day, I'm not breaking any rules, conditions, or anything. And if I was, I know all my laws and my rights and everything. So I know how to bring them up, how to look after them and everything. I've had him for the last 20 years, but not him, you know what I mean? But I have had another one and things like that, and I know everything about him. And when I explained everything to the RSPCA that day, he goes, mate, I can't ask you any other questions because he goes, you know everything about him.
No problem. Like I said, this is obviously a bit of a new one to us.
Yeah.
We've not encountered you professionally before, but obviously from an animal welfare concern, he looks completely fine. He looks well looked after.
Yeah, he is. He's got his hot water bottle in there and everything. I know I always do everything all the time. You know what I mean?
Okay, no problem.
But-
Like I said, because obviously you don't suspect a criminal offence has taken place, you're not legally required to
Yeah.
give us your name and address. Obviously, we're just making inquiries based on the report that we got. From
No, I understand. All right. All right, yeah.
Free to go anyway, mate.
Thank you very much, yeah. See you in a bit, yeah. See you in a
Nice.
bit. Sure.
So, like I said, I'm not here to bash on these constables at all. I think these did a pretty decent job. But this is the bit where I'm going to bash on all of the British Transport Police. Why do I say that? Because about a week ago now, I'm sure it was about a week ago, the Epping migrant sex offender, what's his name? Hadush Kabodak or something like that. I can't remember. I know it was Hadush Kubata or some nonsense, I don't know. Was released wrongfully, and then he was spotted by members of the public wearing his prison tracksuit with his little prison bag with all his stuff inside of it. And he did what? Jumped on a train to London, but yet the police spent that time, instead of just putting a bolo out to all British Transport Police to keep an eye on the stations for this guy, they decided they was going to just look through CCTV instead. Now, if it wasn't for members of the public reporting this guy, giving the police information to where he is, he probably wouldn't be caught yet, in my opinion anyways. So yes, British Transport Police, allowed this guy to make his way to London. I'm sure that's where he was arrested, in London, and managed to stay loose for, what was it, 2 days before he was captured. And the only reason he was captured was to the public, feeding them information. But yeah, so they could have done a better job, but there again, that's not just the police, that's not just British Transport, that comes down to the whole police and the way they decided to go around it. Instead of just putting a bolo out, asking British Transport to keep an eye out for this person, they didn't, and yeah, it come down to members of the public to actually feed the police the information to capture him. But this interaction here, like I said, I can't really fault this interaction. They had a call, the duty bound to respond to that call. They see nothing's happening, he's not breaking the law. They did ask him for his information, he said no, and that was it really. With all that being said, everything I've just said is my opinion. I want to thank my member for being a member. If you want to become a member, click the join button down below. As always, let me know what you thought of this interaction in the comments down below. Like the videos, it does help in YouTube's algorithm, and I'll catch you on the next one.